Hello, my name is BC Akone and I just want to add value to you. This is pointer to your motivation and I'm sharing to you on focus on your goals. Now, sometimes we just get worked up by trying to compare ourselves to others, and then we move into this competition zone that doesn't help us and do any good for us. A little healthy competition is fine, but when you become consumed by the desire to do better than others, then you cross over into that unhealthy territory where you begin to lose focus on what exactly you are called to do. So you've got to learn how not to climb the ladder of success by trying to look at what others are doing, but by concentrating on what it is that you want to do. You see, focus on your focus. See, where your focus goes, there your energy will flow to. When you concentrate on what you are called to do, it begins to grow. See, when you pay attention to what your goals are, then it begins to gain more attention from others. It becomes attractive to others, just like it is attractive to you. So don't allow yourself to be focused on what others are doing. Rather, keep your focus on what you are called to do. Keep your focus on your goal. As you focus on what you are called to do, your motivation, the desire to do it begins to increase, and then you find yourself enjoying it more than looking somewhere. When you compare yourself to others or try to compete with others, you are allowing negative energies into your life, and that will not help you. Focus on you. You deserve it. Till I come your way next time, please stay motivated and be well. Hello. What a great day. What a great time to be alive. I just want to thank you so much once again for joining us. It's great. Every time we just get together here, we get to this space and we are all together, growing together, like I always say, because here we grow. That's what we do here. We grow together. We grow in the house. We growing ourselves and becoming better, learning and leading and changing and making things happen all around the world. Thank you for joining the leadership community. Every day we receive requests to join the community from several places. People are coming in and they are always coming in. It's so awesome to have a community that is just growing and growing like that. We are so grateful for the over 2,700 people that are on this community from all over the world. I see people from Pakistan coming in. I see people joining us in from South Africa. Of course, we have a great community in Zambia, Angola. Great time to always be together. And I see that you're already joining me. Thank you very much for being here. I'm excited to be here. I'm really excited because I know that we're going to grow. Last week we had this wonderful session, and by popular demand, we want to continue with that session. By the way, my name is BC Akone, and I just want to add value to you. That's what I want to do every day and every time and every moment. Just want to add value to people who want to add value to others so that we can make a difference in the world. That's the community that we belong to. So thank you once again for joining in. Last week we started this discourse on success to significance, and I did mention that success is what you do for yourself, and that's true. When you succeed, it's most of the time it's for yourself, it's for you. When you succeed, you get the ROI, like they call it, the rate and returns on investment is yours. It's your success. We celebrate the success with you, but it really has nothing or has very little to do with us individually. But what's significance, which is the goal of this talk, is what you do for others. So when you do things for others, then you become significant. They begin to see you as a person of value in their life. They see you as someone who is bringing change to their life, who is bringing things to happen in their life. So we've got to be looking at our life in that dimension. Now, I asked us some questions that successful people must ask themselves. We began with the clarity question. I'm sure you remember the clarity question is, what do you really want? Not what someone wants for you, but what you really want. We spoke about that question. We spoke about the emotions question. How would you feel when you get what you want? We spoke about the strategy question. There's one that I didn't add to. The strategy question is, how would you get it? Now, the other one I didn't add is the timing question. When will you get it? Now, I gave us a definition by John Maxwell of success, real success. He said, real success is when you find your purpose and then you grow to your maximum potential. And of course, you are sowing seeds that will benefit other people. Those three are critical. Finding your purpose, growing to your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that are beneficial to others. Now, you cannot be significant until you begin to sow seeds that are adding value, seeds that are beneficial to other people. That's when people will follow you, not just because they have to. That's when people follow you because they want to, because of the things that you are doing for them. And when you talk about the different levels of leadership, one of the levels of leadership is the level of production, what you do for the organization, but there's also the level of what you do for them as a people. Now, when you do things for people, when you build them, then you are taking them to that level when you can say that you are a significant person. Now, when we talk about your purpose, I mentioned that finding your purpose has 4 things that shows that you have found your purpose. One is that you are doing things that you love doing. The second thing is that you are doing things, or what you are doing is something that you know how to do. That's the competence factor. The other thing is that you are doing something that people need. That is the value factor. And then you are doing things that people are willing to pay for. It brings in some income. There's something coming to it. When these 3 match, then you have found your purpose. If it does not match, you found something else. Maybe you have found a vocation, maybe you have found a mission, maybe you have found a passion, but you haven't really found a purpose. When you find your purpose, then grow. Growth is very important. Growth requires intentionality. Growth requires your being aware of who you are as a person. That's why it begins with you. Now we spoke quite a lot, and I'm sure that it's still available for you to go watch for the second time. For those of you who probably were not here last week and you're here right now, you might go watch it again. But please take note that this broadcast, this one especially, might not be here for longer than 48 hours. So you might need to just go watch it. If you need to watch it again, you might need to do that in the next 48 hours, because we're going to be taking it down for some other purposes. But today, I just want to look at 4 things that makes for real success, that is significance. And I'm taking this from some of the materials that my mentor John C. Maxwell shared with us, and just adding some other things to it and just making it my kind of content, So there are 4 things, and those 4 things stand with the acronym REAL, REAL, real. No, it's going to be real, Success. You don't want to fake it. You want success that lasts. You want success that has a lot to do. That is a legacy. You want success that stays longer than you can stay. You want to do stuff that are touching people in several places. That is what real success stands for. So let's begin with the R. The R there stands for relationship. You see, people who end up significant in life, they get along with people. Because you see, the only way that people will go along with you is for you to get along with them. If you want to take people on a long journey, if you want to take people on a journey, then you must get along with them. If you don't get along with them, there is no way they will want to go along with you. Now, the more people you go along with, the greater your impact. That's why, you see, I always say people matter. All people matter. All people matter all the time. Let me say that again. People matter. All people matter. All people matter all the time. People matter all the time. All people matter all the time. the more people you get to go along with you, the greater the impact and the level of significance that you will be able to record in your life. See, most of the challenges we face are people related. Look around you, check your place of work. You will discover that most of the time you are doing things with one person or the other. Now, when you have challenges at work, think through it critically. You will discover also that those challenges are not necessarily and really from you. Those challenges most of the time are coming for the relationship, that the people that you have to relate with. You know, someone said people don't quit companies. When people leave an organization, they don't leave the organization. What they actually do is that they leave people. They leave the persons that are there. So most of our challenges are people related. That's why getting people skills is very important. That should be an all-time high for you if you really want to become a significant person. It should be an all-time high for you. Now, you see, there are 4 things that you can do to people, or there are 4 things that people can do to you. Let's just, whichever way. Number 1, people can add to you. In other words, you can increase people. It's possible that you can increase them. It's also possible, and I know that you see some people who can add to you whenever they come around. You know, whatever you are doing, they make it better, kind of. You know, like I always say, they make it better. They don't make it bitter. Some people make it bitter. They don't make it better, and that's the subtractors. You call them people that subtract from you. People that reduce you. There are people that whenever they come around you, they reduce you. And sometimes too, you can also reduce people. You can reduce people. So you've got to check what you are doing with people. Of course, there are those who can multiply people. That is where you have compounding effect. I've got people in my life who multiply me. You know, the little things I take, they just take it on and they just hit on some things like that. And it goes several spots. There are conferences that I've put together, I mean, with thousands of people, and I sit back there and I think about how it came to pass, and I realize that most of the time it is the people who have come around. You know, I've got some friends, some team members. When I share an idea with them, by the time they come back with the idea for me, it's so amazing. It's something else. In fact, one of the books I wrote was just an idea that I shared with someone, and before I knew what I was, I put it together and came back to me, and I was ready to do a book. Those are people that multiply. But then there are those who are, you know, they just divide people. they just come in and they divide. They just have this great capacity to divide other people. That's not how we should be. So this is it. How do you build your people's skills? It's number 1 is that it begins with you. How do you view yourself? That's where relationship starts from. See, because if you don't get along with you, you can't get along with them. It begins with you. How long can you stick around you? How long can you stay with you? How much time can you spend with you? Now, let me ask another question. Do you really like you? You know, the way you treat others is a reflection of the way you see yourself. See, how you see yourself is how you see others. So how you see people is the way you treat people. So the way you see yourself, the way you treat yourself will determine the way you are going to treat other people. So it's important that you see yourself right. That is why I always advocate for a proper self-awareness. You've got to have the proper self-esteem. You've got to have the kind of self-esteem that you need for where you are going, for who you are. You've got to know exactly who you are. See, who you are is not who people tell you are. It's not even what people tell you are. Who you are is not the opinion that your father, your mother, it's not even the opinion that your boss has over you. Because sometimes they can either overrate you or they can underrate you. So the real question is, who do you really say you are? Number 2, you've got to be deliberate in getting people to like you. How do you do that? Because you see, the truth is that sometimes it's actually quite easy for people to like you. One of the easy way, like I say a lot of time, is just put a smile on your face. Especially if you don't have the kind of looks of, you know, the Denzel Washington kind of look, the Mr. US kind of look. If you don't have that kind of look, then do yourself a favor and smile. It will help you a long way. It goes a long way to help you. So put a smile on your face. Do whatever you can do to get people to like you. If you want people to like you, be interested in them. You see, the more people find that you are interested in them, that you want to talk about them, that you are putting them before you, the more they become interested in you. They begin to like you. See, and people like people who like them. So if you like people, what would they do? they would also like you. This is one place that I know we have challenges, especially around this place. We find it difficult to just like people. So we look at somebody and say, I just don't like the person. I just don't like that person. But you know what? If you change your perspective, you might discover that the person you think you don't like is actually somebody that you should like. Now, the third thing I want to share with you is learn to be agreeable. My mentor, John Maxwell, shares this thing he calls the 101% principle. Even before I joined the John Maxwell team, I had begun to learn to use that principle long ago because I read it in one of his books. The 101% principle is where you find common ground. It talks about you looking for the 1% in somebody that you agree on and giving it 100% attention. See, quit doing the opposite, because most of the time we do the opposite. We give attention to the thing that we don't like about people. And let me tell you this, I've found it to be true in my life, and I've seen it to be true in the life of people that I've had encounters with. If you want to find things that you don't like in people, you would find it. It's easy to find. It's easy to find, very easy to find things that you don't like in people. So you've got to quit doing the opposite. Look for 1% that you agree upon, and you'll be amazed that there's a lot that we agree on, that we can agree on. We are really similar in so many ways. It doesn't matter where you come from. Every human being has 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears. Every one of us has 1 head, and we all have colors that can match. There's something about somebody that actually agrees with you some way. Maybe they like ice cream and you like ice cream. I like ice cream. Maybe that's what it is. What kind of ice cream? That's another area. You can break it down. What is it that you like about this person? Maybe they like reading. You like reading. Maybe they like the park. You like the park or something. But you can find one thing. And that's why it's good to talk. When you talk with people for a while, when you start up a conversation, you will discover that there's a lot that you can agree on with other people. And when you find that, please learn to give it 100% attention. Whatever you focus on normally expands. What you focus on will expand. So give that in attention and it begins to grow. I won't talk much about this, but one thing you need to do sometimes is that you've got to compromise. If you really want to get along with people, then you've got to compromise. You want to build relationship, you need to compromise. You see, you can't have your way all the time. Sometimes you really need to give up and give up some more. You need to give up and give up some more. If you always want to have your way, you might be swayed. You might just be swayed aside. You can't always have your way. There's no way you can have your way all the time. And the 5th thing is what they call the golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do to you. And I want to ask you this question. How would you feel if people treated you the way you treat them? How would you feel if people treat you the way you treat them? Now, I tried to craft some questions that I want to ask you. And please, if you have a pen, this is something that you might just want to do for yourself. I have to do it for myself. I'm doing it for myself too. It's something you might want to do for yourself. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, do you love and accept people unconditionally? Underline unconditionally. Do you love and accept people unconditionally? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself? Maybe it's a 5 or a 6. Maybe you are good enough and you're an 8. Where would you rate yourself? Second question, do you like people? I need you to think about that. Do you really like people? I mean, do you like all people? Would you like to hang around all people, as it were? Do you like people generally? They may not agree with you on all things, and it's not possible for them to agree with you on all things. But do you like people generally? On a scale of 1 to 10, rate yourself there. The third thing is, do you put people before your own interests? Do people come before your own interests? Rate yourself on that scale. And of course, are you agreeable with others? How often do you find that common ground with somebody else? If you are going into a meeting with somebody, are you focused on your common grounds, or are you focused on your ground, on the uncommon grounds? Are you focused on where you are similar, or are you focused on where you have a lot of differences? Rate yourself on that. And then, of course, number 5, how well do you follow the golden rule? How well do you treat people the way you want to be treated? Can you rate yourself on that? And this is the final question, and this is the big one. Write down 5 things, or think about 5 things that you will do to improve your ratings within the next 3 months. If you're on a 5 on any of those questions, the question is, how am I going to move from 5 to 7 within the next 3 months? If you do what I'm asking you to do right now, what it does is that it will help you to become intentional about improving yourself in the area of relationship. It will help you to find common ground. It will help you begin to intentionally focus on certain things when you are relating with people. But if you don't do that, then you discover that you are going to be beating it haphazardly. You're going to be running it here and running it there, trying to cash in on what you will say is important and then urgent. And you begin to run yourself in a way that you shouldn't be running yourself. You need to be intentional. Ask yourself those questions. I know you want me to take those questions again, so I'll do that. Do you love and accept people unconditionally? That's question number 1. Number 2 is, do you like people? Do you like all people? Number 3, do you put people before your own interests? And then number 4, are you agreeable with others? And number 5, how well do you follow the golden rule? That is the R there, talking about relationship. The E stands for equipping. Significance comes from building other people. I don't know if my friend is here, but I was having a chat with a friend, and a question popped out that was very, very, it caught me unawares. The question was, why do you do what you do? And I said, what's that? He said, why are you doing this with me? Why are you doing this for me? Why are you so interested in helping me? And I couldn't answer the question immediately, but I thought about it, and I said to myself, well, okay, I answered and said, I think it's because I am very big on adding value to people. I like to see people get better, because I realize that when the people around you get better, you also get better. We are an average of the 5 people that are around us. Now, I know you may have 5 people around you in the far, but the immediate environment where you are, when you look at the people around you, and I don't want to mention names now, but think about maybe your driver, your cook, and look around them. If they are not growing, and whether you like it or not, they are going to be giving you some counsel when you are home. In your office, when there are issues that are critical, sometimes you may not be able to reach the top line. It might be the people along the lower line, people on the lower cadre that are close to you. You just might want to ask them an advice, and sometimes you just tell them, what do you think? And I've shared this with you. One of my mentors will say, before you ask people what they think, ask them if they think. If the people around you are not thinking, then you're in trouble. Honestly, whenever they give you advice, they may just be giving you stinking advice. So you've got to learn to equip people. That means going from me to we. You see, if the vision is yours and yours alone, then you don't want to build anybody. But if the vision is not yours and if it's for the organization, then you want to go from me to we. People become legs to your legacy. There's a limit to what you can do, but your success will become limitless when you are able to pour into others. And again, because I'm a person of faith, I take a lot of lessons from the one that I follow, and that is Jesus. Look at his example. He came in with 12 men. 12 ordinary men who you wouldn't even want to really regard. These 12 ordinary men, he just went and poured himself into them. And by the time he left that space, they were doing marvelous things. In fact, he told them that they would do greater than him. And the truth is, if you equip people, they will do greater than you. But you know what? At the end of the day, they are not doing greater than you. The truth is that they are adding to whatever it is. That's why your legacy will preserve. So you've got to bring people to a point when they will do things that you are doing and do it very well. I know that it is difficult to point to people because people disappoint. That's the truth. But you know what? People will disappoint whether you train them or you don't train them. People will disappoint. They just might fall short. So why don't you just go ahead and train them? I think that it's better to get people trained and reduce the possibility of their disappointing you than you not training them and getting them to disappoint you. Whether you train them or not, they're going to do things. So why not train them so that they can do things and do it better? Why do we fail to equip people? We fail to equip people because, number one, it is tough. I guarantee you, equipping people is the top job. It's difficult. I mean, even look back. Look, for those of you who are married and have children, equipping people is tough. It's a tough call. It's a tough job. And that's why I love who don't want to equip anybody, because you equip sometimes and you're wondering, when are they going to get it? They don't seem to be getting it. But the truth is that if you keep at it, they will get it. Just be consistent. The second reason why we don't equip people is that we underestimate people. We are always wondering they can't do it. In fact, it's so easy for us to say that people can't do it. I find that in my life a lot of them. So I have to take an intentional step sometimes to say, okay, you come try this, because I just throw it out. And I do it sometimes expecting people to fail, but I'm also learning how to do it expecting them to succeed. But you know what? People don't fail. That's my new thought area. That's my new micro agreement to myself. I've come to agree that people don't fail. Projects fail, but people don't fail. Don't underestimate people. You cannot know what people can do. You see, most of the time we don't see people the way they could be. We only see them the way they are. Stop looking at people the way they are. Look at them the way they could be. Even the smallest of your staff has some great potentials. Number 3 is we enjoy doing the job. Oh God, I know that I enjoy doing certain things and I don't want to share with somebody else. But I've come to learn that I need to learn how to step away, move apart from the things that I enjoy doing. And there are so many things that many of us just enjoy. We just enjoy doing those things, because you look at the rate of the returns on investment and you just like it. But you've got to stop it so that you can increase your returns on investment. And then the fourth one, I like this one, is that we just want to be needed. We like being needed. Many of us just like being needed. You want people to look at you and say, oh, it's because of you that this and this and this happened. People pride themselves with saying, since I left that place, things have not been working. That's not a good thing to say. That's not a prideful statement. That you left the place and the place is not working is actually a sign that you did not do some things right in that place. And number 5, is the desire to keep control. We just want to be in control. we have it. There's something that on the inside of every human being, we want to be in control. We just want to keep control. So we like being in control. But you see, the truth is, people who like keeping control, who like being in control, are insecure. That's the problem. They're insecure. They are not free within themselves, so they're insecure. So they want to keep control. It's an insecurity issue. See, as long as you hold on to power, you cannot increase power. See, what you hold on to doesn't expand. There's an old saying that says, if you let something go, if it's really yours, it will always come back to you. But if it's not yours, then it will find its level somehow. As long as you hold on to it, it will find its way. It will not find its way back to you. It will remain the way it has always remained. So you've got to check on that. Do you keep control? Again, I want to ask you a question. I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Number 1, do you believe it is tough to equip others? Is that what you believe? Do you believe that training is hard? Whether hard financially or hard in any other way, do you believe training is hard? That's number 1. Number 2, do you underestimate people? And I'd like you to think about this. Look deep in. Just kind of just check it in and ask yourself, do you underestimate people? A lot of times we do. You look at somebody and you say to them, you can't do it, you can't do it. But the truth is that you don't know what anybody can do. See, if you know how to tell people what you want and leave them to go do it, sometimes you will be shocked the kind of result they'll bring your way. That's the way I test people, and I've seen sometimes it didn't work, and I've seen sometimes when it worked. More times it has worked than it didn't work. So do you underestimate people? Number 3, do you enjoy doing the job yourself? I think that if I'm going to rate myself there, I want to be vulnerable here. I probably would like to give myself a 4. I enjoy doing the job. There are some things that I just enjoy doing, and before I know what's happening, I'll ask somebody to do it, and then I'll go back and say, hey, how you doing? And then I'll just take it on. But I'm learning how to stop that, because you really need to rate yourself well in that area. Do you enjoy doing the job yourself? Number 4, do you enjoy it when people need you? Are you the kind of person that wants people around you and then they are talking about you and saying, oh, you are the one, you are the kind of like that savior. There's a savior around you. You are the kind of person who everybody should just see and say, oh yes, you are the one who is making this thing work for them. Are you that kind of person? Number 5, do you desire to take and keep control? Do you desire to take and keep control? You desire to take and keep control. Check yourself and rate yourself on that one. What are you going to do now if you are going to take yourself from this rating to the other rating? What are you going to do to move your rating from where it is to where you want to be, because you want to be your best? That is E. And A, we are talking about real here. A stands for your attitude. I know that a couple of times here we have spoken about attitude in several ways. Attitude is very, very critical to our life. Our attitude is very important. Now, people are not made by their circumstances. It's not your circumstance that makes you happy or unhappy. What makes you happy is not your circumstance. It is the attitude that you put up in life that determines if you'll be happy or not. So you've got to check your attitude. Nothing attracts new positions like the attitude that we live with. Now, there's a study by certain psychologists, and that study says there are 5 things that places people in the list for promotion. 5 things that place people on the list for promotion. Number 1 is ambition. You've got to have a drive. Fantastic. Number 2 is skill. Of course, you need to know what you are doing. You've got to be competent in what you are doing. But the other 3, I'd like you to take note of them. Number 1 is attitude towards the organization. Number 4 rather now is attitude towards other people, and then attitude towards time and energy demand. Let me just wrap in on that. What's your attitude to the organization? Some people work in places that they don't love. If you have the wrong attitude to an organization, you cannot rise in that organization. Your attitude to the organization will determine how high you can rise in that organization. Number 2 is the attitude towards people. How do you treat other people in that organization? If everybody has a problem with you, then you are the problem. Excuse me, can I say that again? I know I made it personal. If everyone has a problem with you, then you are the problem. You've got to check yourself. And then attitudes towards time and energy demands. When you are asked to do more, when more demand is placed on your time, on your energy, when you need to do some more, when you need to go the extra mile, what kind of attitude do you put up? You've got to check that, because that's critical to how you get promoted in life. Take note of this. Attitude is a choice. So if you want a different attitude, then you must choose differently. You must choose a thinking that is different from all others. As long as you blame others for your attitude, then you are stuck. If you want to get away from being stuck, then you've got to learn how not to blame people for your attitude. I've shared this before long ago, but you can probably get in with me for a deeper lesson on that, talking about the 7 levels of awareness. The first one is the level of darkness. The animal level, you know nothing. You just want to follow whatever is followable. Just permit my words. You just want to go with anything that is going. You've got to check on that. Be careful of the negative attitudes around you. Negative attitudes like complaining, like competition, like self-condemnation. Be careful of them, because they will not serve your destiny. They will not improve your life in any way. They will not take you where you are going. Make sure that you check those attitudes. Now, let me ask some 5 improvement questions that will help us, and I'd like you to take note of this. Number 1 is, how will you rate your attitude towards life in general? Can you mark that down? How will you rate your attitude towards life in general? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place yourself? How would you rate yourself? How would you rate your attitude to life? Number 2 is, how would you rate your attitude towards the organization where you are working right now? How would you rate your attitude towards the organization where you are working right now? And number 3 is, how would you rate your attitude towards the people you work for or the people you work with? How would you rate your attitude towards them? Do they like to be around you, or are they always running away from where you are? You need to check that and find out how you rate yourself in those places. Now, the big question is, what are the 5 things that you can do to improve your attitude in those areas? I want you to answer those questions, because you see, I want you to come to your own truth. It's not my truth. Come to your own truth, so that you find that, okay, fine, how am I, and what will I do so that I can change my ratings in this place? The very last point is what we always talk about here, talking about real relationship, and that's what we talked about. Equipping. Then we spoke about attitude. Now the L stands for leadership. And in this one, I'm going to just share 2 laws of leadership with you. You know, there are laws of leadership, but just 2. Okay. First law of leadership is the law of the lead. Now, I began my journey of leadership for like 26 years now. And remember, my first position or my first place of leadership was an assignment that was demeaning, as it were, in quotes, an assignment that nobody would love to do. I was asked to be the one organizing the movement of chairs in a particular church where I belong. That was my first leadership role, and I was supposed to coordinate a team of about 3 or 4 people and make sure that we get those things there. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't what I liked to do, but that was the assignment I was given. Now, over the years, I discovered that I needed to begin to advance my leadership, and this law of leadership, the law of the lead, this first law of leadership, really helped me, because that law says that a person's ability to lead will greatly influence the effectiveness of that person. How effective you are will be influenced by your ability to lead. Trust me, if you increase your leadership, you will increase your effectiveness at the place of work. You will increase the things that you can do if you increase your leadership. So we've got to begin to work on those things. I've seen critical changes in my life because I began to work on my leadership. So you've got to look at that law and how it resonates with you. Number 2 is the law of process, and that law says leaders develop daily, not in a day. See, the truth is that your success is tied to your daily agenda. So what do you do daily to improve yourself? What do you do daily to get better? Because you see, it's a daily journey. You're on a journey. Every day is a part of the journey. What are you doing on a daily basis to get better? That's very critical. That's very important. What are you doing on a daily basis? If you are not doing anything every day to get better, trust me, you must be doing something every day that will make you better. Except you are deliberately doing something every day to get you better, you are likely to be doing something that will make you better on a daily basis. So don't overestimate the events of your life and then underestimate the process. Look, every product is determined by the kind or the quality of the process that it goes through. See, if you see a product that is highly priced, it's because that highly priced product has gone through a very critical process. If you take gold out of its raw form, you take it through the fire, then the gold becomes pure. And if it becomes pure, the value will rise. If you want your value to increase, if you want to become more valuable and you want people to value you higher, what you need to do is to follow that law of process. Do something on a daily basis that would help advance your leadership. You've got to learn how to challenge yourself, challenge the process you are going to. You've got to learn how to inspire a shared vision with others. Go from that me and move to the place of we. When you are running with a team, you've got to also be a model. Them, not tell them. Leaders show. Learn how to encourage the heart. Be a dealer in hope. Sell hope and let people know that irrespective of what's going on right now, this also shall pass. That's what leaders do. Leaders will always do that. They challenge processes. Leaders will always model the way. Leaders will always inspire a shared vision. Leaders will always encourage the heart. They always give hope to other people. That's as far as we can go today, and I want to say thank you very much for staying with us. I wish I could call your name. I saw quite a number of my friends online today. Thank you for joining me. I do hope that I kept to my promise, because I said I wanted to add value to you. If I did, come on, let's put some chat out there and just encourage your brother, as they put it. Just put a chat out there to say, yes, I got some value in this. You might want to get in touch with me on a private level. Just go on any of the social media handle and search for Real BC Akande, and I'll definitely, with one message, I'll get across to you, and we can take ourselves together on a great journey. You know, I teach, I train, I coach, I mentor, I lead, I play the leadership game, and of course, I pastor. Thank you very much. Great to see you. I'll catch up with you again next Sunday, but please stay with us. So much is coming up on this channel. We are cooking a lot of things. So much work is going on in the background. So much that you're going to be finding very soon. Please stay with us. Make sure that you keep growing. Let's grow together. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate. Okay, I saw SOJ. SOJ, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your kind words always. That's one of my mentors. It's helped me a lot. Great to have you here again. Thank you. My sister from a long, long way back, Deli Ogunla, is also online today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Fantastic lady. We've known ourselves now for 26 plus years, if I'm not mistaken. That's a long time. And she's doing some awesome work in Lagos. Have a great day. I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now. Be well.